Okay, so when we last left off with our heroes of So to Speak, they were in the nostalgic lightning round, and then Caillou derailed the night.
Next one is, let me guess, Caillou.
I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more. I like exploring. I'm Caillou. Fuck this kid.
I think seeing Caillou's mug on my computer screen as I'm recording a show has been one of, I think that was the angriest I've ever gotten on this whole show.
I think you were just having fun.
This
list went a lot longer than I actually expected, so maybe it was a good time to stop.
So, I guess Cody and Michael are preoccupied tonight, so, since they're not coming back. But we've got Josh back from the Wonderland retrospective, who's going to join us in the Nostalgia Lightning Round. So, Josh, pull up the album on your screen to the picture of Caillou, and then be prepared to scroll next. And your
Good news, you're all stuck with me tonight, or today, whenever you're listening to this.
Time is relative.
Yeah.
It's a big bowl of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. So, here are the rules of the Nostalgia Lightning Round. We will dwell on something for not longer than one. We have 1 minute max to talk about what we see in an image as I scroll through. The whole gist of it is, it's Canadian-American cartoons that we, who had basic cable and access to the channels TVO Kids, CBC Kids, YTV, and Teletoon, if we watched any of those channels, we saw a lot of this show. So Caillou is where we left off. We are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Move on from Caillou.
Oh, God.
What's BB?
What is that thing?
Josh, do you know what BB is?
About 7 before the robot from Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know if... I don't know if I've heard of
joke.
this one. Why do I feel like it was a French-Canadian channel that had this?
I don't know. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Yeah. Moving on.
And if you thought the Cats 2019 movie was bad...
What the fuck is Cornemuse? Did I even say it right?
I don't know.
Cornemuse, I don't know if... I'm pretty sure I've never seen this, but...
This looks
well,
horrible.
Here's your nightmare fuel, everyone.
At least it doesn't have James Corden in it.
Yeah.
That's true. At least it's... I can respect it being actual stage makeup and not CGI, but...
Yeah.
That's about all I can say.
Can we have something pleasant?
I never watch this.
We're not off to the races here.
Let's see if anything else is present. Is the next one's pleasant? Dans une galaxie près de chez vous.
Oh, well, that's a French show.
Josh, you're the...
That definitely sounds Québécois.
Yeah.
Dans une galaxie près de chez vous. Why does this remind me of a little bit of like Space Cases, but not... I've never seen this, but just based on the screenshot, I can imagine there's some sort of Star Trek nod.
I'm getting Mystery Science Theater vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, carrying on.
Moving on.
Mr. Dress Up, always a classic.
Okay, now this one I like, yes.
Mr. Dress Up. I feel like he came on our show last time. I don't know. But
our last
I remember he was on the last episode. So
Casey and Finnegan.
Yeah. Moving on. Hilarious House of Frankenstein.
Oh, I'm aware of this, actually. I saw, when you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, and there's like a 40-second video that kind of shows the history of something. This guy was kind of like a TV cult host in Canada. Looks like his name's Billy Van. And, he was pretty popular. He had, some merch and stuff. And there's actually a museum dedicated to him.
Oh.
Of all things. There's one super fan who actually curated a museum about him.
Wow.
So that's
cool.
That's a thing we know now.
Cool, why not?
And I think, according to one of the commenters on this page we're looking at, it might actually be on Crave.
Oh.
If you have that service.
Cool.
Keep in mind it was from a year ago, so it may not be on there, but I should check that out.
We will check it
If you're
out.
craving some camp, check it out.
Okay.
Next up is
Hammy.
The New Adventures of Hammy Hamster and Friends.
I kind of remember this one very vaguely. It gives me like Wind in the Willows vibes a little bit.
It reminds me of Hamtaro.
Wrong
Hamtaro.
Hamster Show, dingus.
Wrong hamster show. I'm sorry.
Hamtaro. Hamtaro had a... We're not talking about Hamtaro,
Right.
but for this...
It looked cool.
Why does it look like a rodent reenactment of Nam?
Yeah, I'm getting like Platoon vibes.
Oh, hey, how to get your kids into MASH.
Oh, that's a good point. Anyways, next. CBC's video hits.
I think Cody told us about this one. I don't know.
I don't remember either. Let's talk about it anyway.
It looks like
Cody's not here.
It looks very MTV.
He can't tell us what to do.
Definitely CBC's sort of attempt to pay homage to MTV in the 80s, because I can definitely... The hairstyle, the graphics on that TV, this is definitely during the 80s.
Yeah, the color scheme.
Is that Brian Adams in the other TV? It looks like that's Brian Adams.
I think it is.
Could be.
Is it summer of 69? This had to have been then.
Yeah, maybe. Next.
Those were the best days of our lives.
Littlest Hobo. Wait,
Oh, yeah, the dog thing.
what is this
Dog
like?
helps people.
Oh, is he like Lassie?
It's kind of like Lassie, but Canadian.
Canadian Lassie.
I think there's also a remake in the works, or they've been trying to work on one for about 4 or so years.
Every time I watch shows like this on TV, I always felt like I was inhaling an entire like vat of ginger ale, and I don't know why.
Why? Was it like they'd have like a carbonated feel to
Yeah,
it?
kind of just you're in the woods. It's all Canadian, so it's all dry, Canadian dry. Ginger ale.
Are you high?
No, I know you are.
We'll see. Sharky and George, the crime busters of the sea. This looks like the weirdest premise for a show underwater.
George looks like a Sharky looks like a wad of chewing gum.
George looks like Flounder from Little Mermaid, but drawn by Z-list animators.
Z-list. Don't you mean
Wow,
Z-list?
Z-list. I didn't think we could go below that.
Yeah.
Not Z-list, Z-list.
Hey, so do we call ZZ Top ZZ Top then?
I've actually never met anyone who actually says Z.
It's kind of a weird, there's like some distinctions where it's like sometimes it is Z, like the song YYZ, and sometimes it's Z, depending on where it's from.
Okay,
I just stick with Z because it sounds better.
cool.
This
Anyways,
definitely sounds like it was before my time, though.
did we talk more about the letter Z than we did about this show?
We did, so let's move on.
Moving on.
Watato.
Watoto.
This might be a Quebecois show.
I have no... Oh, so none of you have seen this.
It's a pretty diverse cast, honestly. I'm actually impressed.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say because I've never seen it.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So the guy on the leftmost guy with the vest, he's a badass punk. He's got Nazi punk's F off on his vest.
Oh, he does.
You can edit that out, but you can probably edit out what I just said. But
No, we'll keep... Fuck Nazis. We'll keep it in.
I mean,
Moving on.
but that's kind of badass, though, that,
Okay.
They actually kept that in.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So,
for a kid show.
Next one is Delilah and Julius.
Oh, yeah, I remember this show.
I remember this one.
It was on
This
Teletoon.
was too bad.
Yeah.
This wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's like they're two spies, and they kind of sort of have an on-off thing. And sometimes it gets pretty serious.
Oh, so like
Most
Kim,
of the time
Kim
it's
and
kinda
Ron
silly.
Possible.
Yeah, it's kind of a Kim Possible knockoff, actually, but...
Yeah.
Well, Julius does look a bit like Ron. He's got the blonde hair.
He doesn't have a naked mole rat.
They know what they were doing.
They knew.
They knew.
They knew exactly what the animation style almost reminded me of Archer. Actually, I'm seeing this in the
I gotta
comments.
remember which animation studio did this. It gives me like Fresh TV vibes. You know, the people that did 16, Total Drama,
Yeah.
Pilot, all that stuff.
Yeah, around that was all popular around that time.
Moving
Oh,
right
Decode Entertainment and Kaleidoscope Digital Productions. Okay, so not them.
Next up is Kratz Creatures.
I love Kratz Creatures.
Hell yeah!
From the guys who would go on to eventually make Zaboomafoo.
Yeah.
Kratts creatures walked so Zaboomafoo and wild Kratts could run.
I never watched Wild Kratts, but Zaboomafoo was my childhood.
Wild Kratts is essentially animated Kratts creatures, but the brothers have superpowers, but it's sort of this generation's version of Kratts creatures, getting kids to learn about animals and nature.
Well, if Captain Planet taught us anything, it's you want to teach kids a positive message about environmentalism and politics?
Write good stuff.
No, give them superpowers.
Yeah, that'll learn them.
Anyways, Kratts Creatures was awesome. I loved the girl they had who was like the IT and animal nerd on the show who look up back. That was fun.
I feel like I'm just mixing all my memories of the show with Zaboomafoo.
Yeah.
So
here's a joke. You have Chris Kratt, you have Martin Kratt, but you don't have Chris Martin Kratt.
Ah.
But we do have Chris Pratt.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Let's stop
Moving
before
on.
we hurt
It's gonna
ourselves.
be a long night at this point.
Zix level 3.
Zix level 3. It looks like
Looks like Reboot.
It does. It looks like if Reboot got the IP rights to produce Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So reboot the Guardian Code, basically.
I have never. Have any of you guys seen this?
No.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I may have seen a bit of it, but I can't recall a lick of it though.
Okay.
But apparently, all of the episodes are on YouTube.
Wow, you're just got a computer keyboard at your fingertips, like as we're talking about this. That's insane. It's only been 30 seconds. By the way, here's the rule. If we haven't seen it, we'll talk about what we think of it as a first impression, but we can't give opinions on the creative stuff. We can say it looks like this, but we can't say we've seen it.
Keep it brief. Let's keep moving.
Moving on.
What in the goddamn fuck?
Purely, definitely
Purely.
sounds Quebecois.
That's Quebecois. His head looks like a nose that has a nose.
It looks like a butt plug.
So it's cone heads for kids.
Cone heads
for kids.
Okay. Moving
It
on.
kind of looks like a cone.
It does look like a cone.
Yeah,
Moving on.
You could say that.
Oh!
Passepartout.
Passe Peru. Partout.
This reminds me of Telefrancais.
Oh, with the we talked about
And we're back.
we talked about Telefrancais on the last episode. With
Well, I don't know if all these shows look the same, but they always have they look like they came out 50 years ago or something.
It feels like the Quebecois children's entertainment director had only one producer, so they just made and a bunch of actors, so they just made various kids shows about with the same people.
I mean, good for them.
That's just a theory. The Quebecois in Canada film industry is actually quite thriving. Moving on.
Next. Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Kids.
I remember the books were they written by the same guy who wrote William Joyce, who wrote George Strinks and Roly Poly Oly?
No, I don't believe so. So, Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Friends was based on the book series by David Kirk.
David Kirk. Yeah.
The animation style is a little bit Nightmare Fuel-ish.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's CGI, but it is pretty faithful to the original illustrations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was good.
Moving on.
I've never seen it.
My hometown.
My hometown.
I have no idea what this is.
That guy almost looks like Jay Baruchel. The guy on the right.
I think it is Jay Baruchel.
Holy crap. I wouldn't put it past.
Let me consult. Yeah, it looked 96. Yep, 96 to 98. He was in that.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Lyle is confirmed the letter J Whisperer.
Okay. Moving right along. Carmen
Campagne. Carmen Champagne. That's what I'm just gonna call her. She looks like she's about to down a margarita.
No, I'm tempted to say, is that a live action Miss Frizzle? But no, Miss Frizzle. I don't know who could play it. We digress.
Anyways, back to Carmen Champagne.
Carmen Champagne.
I don't have anything on this one, unfortunately.
Then
I could not tell you.
It looks. I guess it could be fun.
Sure.
She looks. She looks nice.
It looks like it's down on a farm of sorts.
Yeah, there's some hay there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving along. You've got
Chez
Hélène.
Are we in the francophone section?
I think this is a francophone section.
Most of this doesn't feel very familiar.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like she could have been the Quebecois Sherry Lewis.
That looks, yeah, she looks like, and she looks like she has some cute puppets, so that's cool.
There's puppets in the shows.
The comments look overall positive, but we're going to move along now.
Okay.
Size small.
What the hell is that?
I don't really know.
One size fits nobody.
It looks like a burnt donut.
I guess it's a musical show because it's trying to teach kids about music.
Does he grow like a stem out of his body or something? Is this some Cronenberg
He
shit?
looks like a no. Yeah, no. This does look like some Cronenberg shit.
He is a tone.
All right, we're gonna move along.
I've heard of music coming alive, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Circle Square.
Speaking of circles.
I remember watching some of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
Very briefly. I don't know if it sounded like it was kind of a religious show, but you know, when you're a young enough kid, you don't put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Well, I had my fill of VeggieTales, and so did you.
Yeah, this was not as good as that.
VeggieTales is American, so moving on.
Put it lightly.
I have no idea what this is.
Bro.
I think this is Electric Circus.
Oh,
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that Mike Myers?
doesn't
No,
look like Mike Myers.
I don't believe it is.
Kind of looks
So
like
this is
Mike
definitely
Myers.
during the 80s.
Oh yeah,
Kinda sort of looks like Mike Myers.
That's-
I could be totally wrong.
that's 80s hair, all right. Moving on.
Okay. Rap City.
Rap City. Didn't we
Boys
talk?
in this
I
screenshot.
can't remember if we talked about this last time.
Oh shit, that's MCA from the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
What
It's
is that?
all the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, it's all of them.
Damn.
Cool.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not
This
too.
was basically one of Much Music's hip-hop focused shows.
Ah.
Okay.
Next one is Chip and Orbit.
I kind of remember this one
I
as
think
well.
I vaguely remember this. Yeah.
He looks like what an icon that you would find on an old version of Windows.
He looks like something you find in a Dire Straits music video.
No. Okay. Next.
Bob and Margaret.
Bob and Margaret.
Oh, this was a dear
Thanks.
precious show.
I completely missed out on this because I never watched it. It looked like an adult family comedy like that.
There were points, but it was actually really well done.
Yeah, it wasn't trying to be edgy like Family Guy. It was honestly just like this young couple that were living together. Somewhat mundane. I compare it to like something like For Better or Worse.
Yeah.
It's nice though. It started out as a short actually that was submitted and actually got an Oscar nod, I believe.
Oh wow.
And then they adapted it to television.
Well, I always figured it was for adults because this was on Global. This was on Global.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a great show.
This being a British-Canadian co-production, you really get a lot out of that dry humor, and the show's much better for it as a result.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I like how they say pizza.
Oh yeah. Moving on, the Edison twins.
The Edison twins. Guy's rocking some Gordon P. Sumner hair right there, the guy on the right.
Oh yeah, he does look like Sting.
He looks like Sting from Dune.
Yeah.
I don't know this show.
I don't know this show.
Do you know this show, Josh?
Probably negative on that one.
Then
Nice
let's
buttons though on the jacket.
Let's boogie.
go already. Tupi and Binu.
Tupi and Bino. This I've seen like this hidden without the hieroglyphs of pop culture. It looks weird. I don't know.
Veronica named her.
It's pablum for the kids, for like the young kids on Treehouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Veronica named her dog after Binu, so
Okay.
yeah.
Moving on.
Ed
the Sock.
He's got a cigar.
Well, Len's in the background, but I have feelings on the idea of Ed.
Okay.
See, during the character did, I guess, didn't find enough on Much Music, but obviously in the years post Much, it's kind of been much more complicated to really have any sort of interest because, like, it's got that basically the guy behind it has become much more political over the last 5 to 10 years. Granted, he did try to bring back Much Music. But then Bell Media conveniently rejected that idea right before bringing back Much Music themselves through TikTok. But that's neither here nor there. Ed as a character is very much like Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. You know, it's a guy with a puppet, but you know, he had a shtick, and it worked sometimes. It didn't work other times, but
Well put. And that was exactly a minute, so it's time to move on. I've never seen Ed the
Bye,
Song.
Ed.
Bye,
I
Ed.
should have been in debate club.
Shadow Raiders. Did the guys?
Hey, look, it's Discount Reboot.
It really
I
doesn't.
say, it looks just like the guy from Reboot.
Oh yeah, because it definitely is a mainframe creation.
I can't say I've seen this, and if I did, I probably... Shadow Raiders is a pretty generic name.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Maybe I'll check it out though. It sounds like the guy did the fusion dance with Reboot and Mr. Freeze.
That's true, yeah. Okay, moving on.
His computer froze. Switchback.
That looks like...
Not Snapback. Switchback.
What, does anyone know what this is?
No, it looks like
His name is Stan, and he is the man, and I imagine there is switching involved before.
It looks like a
became a
program.
Yep.
They probably spent most of their budget on that little thing in the back there.
That's true.
That wall.
Mission Changement. This looks like a fun show. I've never watched it.
I thought
Is that a can of paint on that desk?
I think it
yeah,
is.
it is.
I think
What if it's the Quebecois version of Art Attack?
That'd be cool. I thought it was BattleBots for a second.
That would be funny though. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a French dub of that, but that'd be interesting.
Okay, so what's this Mixmania?
I don't know, but the girls are on the right and the boys are on the left.
Yep.
They don't get along.
I think this is some sort of like, it looks like a send up of S Club 7, that kind of like boy-girl hybrid.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's true.
No idea.
Moving on. Talk about.
Let's give them
What?
something to talk about. And ironically,
Let's talk about that, baby.
I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say about this show.
Yeah.
It looks old. Kids hate fry onion meat organ.
It looks. I don't know what this.
It's a game show.
Are
I
they?
guess.
Oh, does it look? Is it? Are they
Word
playing?
Association, I think.
Are they? Is it like Mad Libs the game show?
I don't
Not
know.
quite. I think there's a topic, and there's all these words that have to do with the topic, and someone has to guess what it is,
Okay.
like that it's referring to.
Anyways, we're gonna move on.
Oregon kids harvest them.
What
I eat
is it?
too many-
Is this another kid's shop? Another kid's help phone ad?
I eat too many chocolate bars.
Why the hell couldn't I have seen this as a kid? It looked hilarious. It looks like it would be hilarious.
It looks like an acne cream ad or something.
Oh.
That's not funny. That's kind of... I eat too much candy, and now I got some acne. Will you please help me?
I thought you
call
said this wasn't
1-800?
funny.
You don't win friends with acne. You
You
don't
don't
win
win
friends
friends
with
with acne.
Thank
Maybe you should have a salad.
Oh my god.
But you don't win friends with that either.
We're assholes. Okay, moving on.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
Moving on. Switchback. What
Hey,
the
man,
hell?
We saw this already.
Yeah, we did. Who may have ever made this list
Maybe
has
this
put the
is
same stuff.
I don't know. Maybe this is a reboot or something.
Switchback.
It's a different guy.
It does. Yeah, it looks complete.
Version, yeah.
Do you think Switchback got rebooted and then?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think it might have been the first one we saw was like the Vancouver version, and this is maybe a Toronto version.
Could be.
That's true, because I guess if they're filming, you think that they would have had like national TV that like cartoons where they don't have to make a difference.
I still think it's just a reboot. I mean, I don't know. Anyways,
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Probably.
we're saying way too much about what it could be and not what it
Moving
is.
on,
Dark Oracle.
Dark Oracle. Never heard of it.
Uh,
Lyle sounds like this is a painful
was this a show? Was this the show that had the anime sections? There was one show on YTV. It was like right after Three Hairy Thumbs Up, and there's this one show where it was like it was a teen drama. It was very dark, but it also had like anime sections, like animated
Well,
sequences.
because part of it's they discover a comic book, so I imagine it mixes that style of animation in with the live action.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't know if that was this though. I just remember it had like something like Dark Gem, Dark something. Maybe that's what this.
Maybe this is it.
Maybe it's something entirely different. I don't know.
Okay.
If anyone can comment below and tell me what I'm talking about, then that would make me sleep easier at night.
Okay. Moving on.
Anyways, un grenade avec ça.
This looks like
What?
what? What is this?
It looks like...
It looks funny.
It's a sitcom, clearly, and yeah, people do wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of the actors is...
It sounds like, what if we took the show Fries with that and gave it an army spin and then made a French version of it?
Alright.
Sounds about right.
Let's... Not too much to say. It looks...
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It looks wacky. Moving on. Today's special! I actually remember...
Classic.
I remember today's special. That's Mr. Crenshaw, the man puppet. The dude in the mushroom hat is actually a mannequin who comes to life, I think. And it's cool.
I've never seen this show, actually.
Okay,
It
then
was filmed at the Eaton Center.
It was! That's right, yeah. The whole idea is that, like, he's a department store security guard, and that's really cool.
The puppet or the guy?
The puppet is a department store security guard.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Crenshaw.
See, in a perfect world, this would have been the kind of movie Paul Blart Mall Cop would have been.
Yeah.
Mr. Crenshaw, played by Kevin James.
Actually, but his first name was Sam, now that I remember that.
Sam Crenshaw. Okay.
Moving on.
I've never seen the show.
I watched this quite a few times.
Caitlin's Way. This was pretty good.
Caitlin's Way?
This one.
What's this one?
Never heard of it.
Girl looks like a cute goth, though.
Get what this is about, but I have seen it before and I liked it from what I saw.
It's about Caitlin, and the show is out about how she does know the way.
This is the way.
She knows the way.
This is the way. Okay.
Looks like she works at a photography store.
It does look kind of like that.
Probably.
Anyways, moving on.
Caitlin's segue.
The goat!
Oh, Christ.
Josh?
The goat!
Josh, I'm tripping here. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Oh, 5th grade on that computer. Many a recess was spent on this game.
If it ever rained and we had like an indoor recess, Josh and I were glued to this. The best part I can remember was, it was one of those old like games where you had
DOS,
to type.
yes. This is the reason to get kids into DOS computers. It's games like this.
Yeah, like, do you remember, like, Josh, I would say, Josh, type in fuck, and the computer would say, I don't understand the word fuck.
So it was a text-based game.
Edgy preteen behavior.
And apparently, if I ever typed in, I have to go pee, it gave you your inventory list of what you're carrying in your truck. I have no clue why that is. But...
This was a really fun game. They made an American version. They actually did a sequel in the 90s, which was more of like a standard PC game. I'm even looking at the same company made some sort of multimedia map-based game called Adventure Canada.
But I gotta cut us off. We passed a minute, so
basically it's a fun point-and-click adventure where you play a truck driver.
It really is, yeah. Moving on,
and you can get killed. Rescue heroes!
What? Did I miss something?
Everyone has massive feet.
I'm lost.
Okay, so Rescue Heroes was a show where all these emergency workers who did the job that no one else could do, and they saved people's lives every episode from like either natural.
And there were toys and stuff.
Yeah, there's either natural disasters or a man-made incident, and they, any victims they saved.
Oh, so
there's a lot of toys. Every character had a gimmick and a certain like tool that they always used at their disposal.
Yeah,
because it essentially just made to sell an action figure line. I used to collect those.
I can see that they turned April O'Neil into a firefighter. I can see.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the characters. They all had really, really corny names like Cliffhanger and.
Were they code names or real names?
I don't know.
Code names or call signs, you decide. Moving on. Inquiring Minds.
Mm-hmm.
What's Inquiring Minds?
Awesome.
I don't know.
I'm an inquiring mind. I'm inquiring about.
What is this, Josh?
I think from what I can remember, it was basically a science type show where there'd be some questions that are asked and they sort of get to the bottom of it. If kids like Bill Nye the Science Guy, this is probably a good Canadian equivalent.
God.
Maybe for a little bit of older kids, but still really good.
Sorry. It took 20 seconds, but I actually do remember this show now. One episode that actually really scared me, the guy, it's done for shits and giggles, but it's an episode about power tools. He cuts off his own hand. So, yeah, this show could be edgy at times. But, the one episode that I remember is where they actually show how a hockey rink is made. That was really cool.
All right.
Okay. Moving on.
Popular mechanics for kids or something.
Popular mechanics, like for a little bit of an older audience, yeah. Wii 3.
What the hell?
What is Wii 3?
The rejected name for the Switch, the Wii 3. This was something, for toddlers and stuff. It's your typical costumed kid show.
Kind of like the Banana Splits or something.
No, you mean Bananas in Pajamas, or?
No, I'm talking about...
Banana Splits. Oh.
Yeah, it was a show by Hanna-Barbera.
Or Barney.
Yeah, or Barney. Or the Wiggles, or whatever.
Moving on.
Yeah, we're too old.
Whimsy's House.
Whimsy's House. At Whimsy's House.
Yeah,
I loved this as a kid.
This show was pretty great, actually.
Oh, now I may have seen a couple episodes of this.
Yeah, it was cute.
Another example of CNR killing it in the 90s between Arthur and this and so many of their other stuff.
Okay. Moving on. Back to Sherwood. That looks like Dollar Store Katniss Everdeen.
So Robin Hood for teenagers.
All right. Well, there's a lot. I remember there were a lot of types of shows like this. This looks fun.
It looks like they're trying to modernize Robin Hood.
Yeah, I mean that bow, that quiver back there is clearly not of the times.
Yeah.
What kind of anachronistic bullshit is this, yo?
Moving on.
It's a creative choice.
Yes. Brats of the Lost Nebula. Lyle, it looks like you would love this.
What makes you think I would love this?
It's just the way it looks.
Because it looks creepy and weird and totally cringe.
It looks part like a Robot Chicken thing, but part like Team America.
Yeah, I'm getting Team America vibes
like
all over the place.
Goth Team America.
But apparently the special effects were also done by a company that was owned by William Shatner, so that's the Canadian connection here.
Nice.
Hello there.
Okay.
I wonder if he had a cameo.
Moving on.
Concerned children's advertisers.
You did enough stuff about them in the first one.
We talked an awful lot about these. Unfortunately, I didn't know this at the time of recording, but they shut down actually.
Oh yeah.
They're not around anymore.
Really, recently?
I guess those
pretty recently. Yeah.
I guess those cheesy commercials couldn't pay off anymore.
No.
Oh wait, I think they just changed the name.
Oh, so it was
They're
more.
They're now called Companies Committed to Kids.
So it was a rebranding more than a.
No.
Oh, actually no. March 2017, they shut down because of a decline in business after almost 27 years. Okay,
yes,
so
I told you.
Yeah. Okay.
I did my research.
We talked about them. We talked about.
Bottom line is all their ads rocked, and they totally made the '90s a better place.
Yeah.
Cyber Chase.
What is the?
Featuring Robo Iago and Math.
Featuring Christopher Lloyd.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He was the villain.
Hacker.
I also really liked the 4 real live action segments towards the end, even though on streaming services they are not in there. But it was a pretty good show to get into like some of the more complex aspects of math.
Yeah, it's a math show, and even though I hate math, I thought the show was pretty kick-ass.
So it made math fun.
That theme song.
Good.
Yeah, that theme song slapped.
Daft Planet.
This looks like my kind of show. I'm sure they're all just.
I feel like I've seen it.
That's a perfect analogy. It's basically undergrads mixed with quads. I get the
Underquad sounds like, the 4-legged version of underpants.
or like the oblongs or something.
Why are their heads not connected to their bodies?
Because they're Rayman's
cartoon
cousins.
Logic.
Because they're Rayman's cousins, okay?
Okay.
You know?
Good one.
Okay.
Moving on. Thank you. Next.
I was a 6th grade alien. I liked this one.
What the heck is this?
Oh, it's a show.
About an alien who's in 6th grade and the people that are in 6th grade with him.
It looks like they're fairly aware that he's an alien.
So they're just going to accept a being from another planet into class? Cool. I mean...
This sure beats doing homework.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how the teacher's just having none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the teacher in the... It's like...
I'm guessing. I've never watched the show.
Okay.
Anyways.
Moving on. Street Sense. Street Sense. I don't know what this is.
Think of it as like the consumer report stuff from CTV News, but for kids, which is helpful.
I'm getting a lot of bisexual lighting energy here with all the blues and purples.
That's that striped shirt. It's like we definitely have our Steve from Blue's Clues here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Anyways, moving on.
Carrying on. Well.
Body break.
Body break. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Their ads took up... Okay, if there's ever a commercial block between, like, your show, their ads would take up half of or all of the commercial block.
Joanne and Hal are Canadian treasures. And the fact that they had that, like, hilarious commercial a couple of years ago where they were, like, pretending to be serial killers, it was so great to see them back and relevant
What?
again.
These two pretend to be serial killers? God
There
damn.
was a commercial they were in a few years ago where it was like a body break parody, but it was like a dark version of it.
Alright.
Okay,
There's a couple others. I don't know if that's the exact context, but look that up. Those were fun.
Moving on. Martin
Mystery.
Mystery.
This show was awesome.
I remember watching this and thinking it was very funny. Apparently, it doesn't qualify as real anime.
No, it's not. It's a French show, and it's
if you like Totally Spies, it's the same animation studio and it shows.
But it looks like it wanted to be anime, and they made a lot of like physical decisions.
Well, I like this show because it was about these kids, and they fought monsters, and they were in a secret government installation, and they went all across the world, hunting creatures down. Typical Monster of the Week kind of show, but I liked it. I thought it was right up my alley.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
We are the Berenstein Bears, Mama, Papa,
Wrong
sister.
version.
Berenstain.
What the hell?
Berenstain.
Is it? Oh, so this is a whole other Mandela effect. They spell Berenstain wrong. Berenstain wrong. It's spelled with an E where the A
The
should
way
be.
they spell it in the actual spelling of everything is with an A. They're not wrong.
Okay,
But
Lyle,
this
what
version was
dimension
actually
are we?
really good. I mean, I remember the CBS versions on like home video and stuff from like Random House did as a kid. This one was also pretty good too.
Yeah, I remember collecting the books. The books were awesome.
Yeah, I remember the books.
Yeah. It was really cool. So we're in a reality where it's Berenstain, not Berenstein or Stein. We will never be able to
say potato. I say potato.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Okay, moving on.
Mystery Hunters, another show.
Sorry.
Mystery Hunters. This show is totally my jam. I love how like they always start as like, oh man, this creature might actually exist in the real world, and at the end of every single show, they're like, well,
it totally doesn't exist.
We can't really prove in a half hour that this thing does not exist, but hey, don't believe everything you see.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, okay. I got suckered into it so much because I was into cryptozoology back then.
Oh, that's cool. This ride at Zeller's. First of all, some context. Zeller's was a department store chain that survived in Canada until the early 2010s.
I'm sure
around 2014 when the Target experiment happened and then failed.
Yeah, no. So every Zeller's in Canada Target decided to branch out into Canada, so they took over all the stores that had Zeller's in them, and then that lasted a year, and then Target was history.
But this ride was one of the things you put quarters in, you're a kid, you sit, it goes around.
Pretty much, yeah.
Whoop-de fucking
It didn't look very fun. I never went on this. Speaking of Zeller's, they had the diner.
Oh yeah.
I knew someone I knew in high school worked a waitressing job there. It was pretty fun, and I like how it's 50s style.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm reminded of Galaxy Diner instead.
I remember that, Shane. The Moffats.
The Moffats.
Hell yeah!
Didn't you mention
underrated stuff? Their first record, their first two records, self-titled, Chapter 1 and New Beginnings, Some Modalities. Look those two up. Great stuff. They were big on like the YTV circuit in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Josh, didn't you mention you saw these guys in Canada's Wonderland?
Well, on YouTube there was a video of when they performed at the YTV Psychoblast tour, and that's where I saw the footage from. But like, I'll be there for you on the first YTV Big Fun Party Mix, which maybe is a topic for a future episode. But that was my jam growing up.
All right.
They were huge in that demographic.
All right. Well, yeah, they sound cool. They kind of remind me of the Hansons. Or Hanson.
Robo Roach.
Robo Roach.
What's Robo Roach?
Well, it's like RoboCop, but with cockroaches.
I kind of liked it. You know, the idea of Rube. I forget, Reg is the Robo-Roach or Rube is the Robo-Roach. I think Rube is. But, Rube is really happy-go-lucky. It's basically SpongeBob and Squidward, the show, but they're cockroaches.
Yeah, and SpongeBob is Cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a little gross, but a lot of stuff back then definitely went for gross-out humor.
Yvonne of the Yukon, we're looking at you. Moving on. All these
stores.
So speaking of Zellers, I vaguely remember A and P. I don't remember Byway, Wolco, Towers, Miracle, or...
I think some of these were relevant in the 70s and 80s for the most part.
Yeah.
There was an A and P that used to be a IGA and later Dominion. This is near Bayview and Major Mac.
Okay.
If that dates the area at all.
Eric's World.
Eric's World. That one guy I'm not friends with anymore really liked this.
Come on in. Ain't nobody here but me. That theme song kicked ass. Eric is worth mentioning.
That was a good show, though.
Eric Nagler did come to perform at Josh and mine's elementary school back in 3rd grade. 20 years ago this year, actually.
Really? I can't believe I forgot that.
20 years ago this past June.
And same production company as The Elephant Show, and I believe he was on Sharon Olsen Brown Show at one point in the 80s, so that explains the connection.
Eric would often make cameo appearances on The Elephant Show, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Lyle's really out of it. He didn't like The Elephant Show.
Yeah. I got detention for saying... Because we watched it every day, and I was just like, I don't know, not the fucking Elephant Show.
It was the F word that got you detention.
I didn't say it, but it was kind of like, not this show again. All I did was speak out, and I got detention. Oh, hey, Totally Spies.
What's Totally Spies?
It's like Charlie's Angels, but they do more.
Okay.
And they have gadgets and shit.
Again, Marathon did this and Martin Mystery, but it's, there's Whoop, there's this guy named Jerry who runs the place, that's about it.
Good.
Yeah. Skin tight spies, so I cannot complain. Degrassi,
this
The
show...
first one, I think.
Not only does this show run today, but if you're a young and up-and-coming actor in Toronto and you look like a teenager, you're on this show.
Well,
Pretty much.
not so much today. I think the version that was most recent, The Next Generation, that ended in 2015.
Yeah, well, in the 2010s, everyone I knew got parts on Degrassi.
Yeah.
As a Canadian institution in terms of teen dramas, it's been going on since the 80s, and you can find all the different iterations of it online.
Do you think it's like the 90210 of Canada?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Blue Rainbow.
Blue Rainbow?
I have no clue what Blue Rainbow is.
I choose to not get this.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel kind of creeped out.
Yeah, no, this looks weird.
Does that guy have his tongue sticking out? They all look like zombies.
Yeah, can we move on?
Hostess chips.
Hostess chips. This was a brand. That's old
brand
packaging.
Didn't have Lay's or No Name.
I feel like this was before our time.
Probably. I wasn't sure if these are pastries or chips, but I guess they're chips.
I guess because Hostess is still in business.
Yeah.
No, they make chips and stuff like Twinkies, Ho-Hos, things like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, next.
Cool.
Atomic Betty.
Atomic Betty.
The show was actually kind of groundbreaking. It was the first fully animated show that was done on Flash.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, it wasn't.
Paved the way for all the cost-cutting measures of the future.
Yeah, it was a sign of things
Better
to
or
come.
worse.
Yeah.
It was an alright show, I guess. Kind
I
of wacky.
liked it.
Kinda
Theme was
wacky.
catchy. Premise was really interesting.
I did hear of Atomic Betty. I just never watched it.
It's like this in my life as a teenage robot for, strong, crime-fighting, somewhat intergalactic protagonist.
Anyways, next up is Degrassi Junior High. I feel like
We said, well, what you say about one Degrassi, you could pretty much say about all Degrassi.
yeah, fair enough.
Next.
What's Doodles?
Doodles was like these short segments that would always
I liked
play.
these.
I think during Teletoon, I believe, or was it YTV?
Yeah, pretty sure it was there.
Yeah, they always have like things like Iskabel and Don't Do That. Like a lot of these like mini bumper kind of like animations, and this was just some doodle that a guy drew, and he'd interact with this blank world, and bad things would happen to him. It was cute. I actually liked it. It was pretty nicely done.
Okay.
Sesame Park?
Sesame Park. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You know how Mr. Dress Up was to Mr. Rogers what Sesame Park was to Sesame Street.
It ended too soon, and it should be made more accessible online.
Was it a separate division, or like was it made by the same people?
I think it is a children's television workshop thing, because with Sesame Street, the idea is that every part of the world has its own production of Sesame Street. Like South Africa has its own, Israel has Rechol Sum Sum, which is like the Hebrew version. It's sort of, this was a Canadian version of it. Not much different from regular Sesame Street, but probably some localization differences.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Sesame Park was like a spin-off, but apparently no, it's a Canadian rendition. Buzz. With Darren and some guy named Mo. I don't know who either of these guys are. Mo looks pissed.
He looks like he dropped his keys down the gutter. He's just like, oh no, my name
It looks like
is
it's trying
Mo.
to be just for laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this like trying to be punked or something? Like some prank show?
I think so.
Anyways, let's move on.
Moving right along. Just like Mom. I have no
Take
clue.
a look at all those grocery brands.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
never
Like
see them again.
It's the Dominion wheel. I don't know what this is.
A product of its time, and not in a great way.
Okay.
Oh, isn't this the one where the guy would always kiss the younger contestants, the host?
What?
Bingo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because the male host was extremely creepy and inappropriate with the younger girls, always asking them for kisses and stuff. Oh yeah, I keep seeing this guy on cringe channels.
Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
Space Cases.
Space Cases.
Hmm?
I don't know what this is.
I actually liked it. It was basically Walter Jones, who played Zach on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first Black Ranger. I think he left around season 2, which would have been 94-ish, and he was one of the main characters on this one. Sort of like, it's more of like a bit of a gateway into Star Trek for kids. The sci-fi action with some comedy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sounds
Interesting.
right. Sounds like something you watch on YTV. Soul Decision.
Soul
Decision. Faded is a bop. Everybody listen to the record. No one does it better. It's actually really underrated for late 90s Canadian pop music. That was that. Ooh, It's Kind of Crazy. I also really loved as a kid. Trevor Guthrie actually managed to have a bit of a comeback with that song. This is what it feels like with Armin van Buuren. You've probably heard it on the radio in the last little bit.
It sounds like something I might recognize. Yeah.
Yeah, Faded is a great song, and I highly recommend their first record. No one does it better.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
So they have bands in this list, I guess.
Wow.
You can't do that on television.
What's...
Nickelodeon, you are welcome for the relevance.
Yeah, so this show was kind of like early Nickelodeon. Like, it was a Canadian show where like a bunch of kids did it. It's kind of like All That or the Amanda Show. It was a lot of sketches, and mostly every sketch ended with someone getting splatted with slime from above. It was a wacky show. It was definitely an interesting development for kids programming.
Okay.
Part of the reason I really want to get Paramount Plus is because this show is on there.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I don't know if it's every single episode, but most of them.
Alright, moving on.
Relic Hunter.
Relic Hunter. Never heard of it.
So it looks like we got Tia Carrera when she wasn't in Beastmaster on this.
Okay.
Loved her in Wayne's World and True Lies.
Oh,
And
cool.
the voice of Nani and Lilo and Stitch.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, she's had a good career.
Next.
Erky Perky.
Erky-
I remember these two fucks.
What's Erky Perky?
So CGI Robo-Roach it looks like.
It's like Robo-Roach. It's just these bugs. They do gross things. They try to eat food. The humans always want to kill them. I don't know. They always get struck by lightning. La, la, la. It's another show where the intention is to gross you out. Because bugs are icky, alright?
Okay.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Next. Mr. Meaty.
Mr. Meaty.
Basically,
No, I do not want fries with that.
Basically, what happens is Chris Farley and you turn them into puppets and they work at a restaurant.
Oh, okay. I'm sold on the premise, but it doesn't...
In a little uniform.
That guy in a uniform.
By the way, it looks like a
Then
finger...
you gotta sell your stuff, and you end up living in a van down by the river.
Now, I'm just going to say is, they are looking kind of dumb, like a finger and a thumb.
Larry's gonna finger up the bum.
No, it looks like they look like a finger and a thumb.
Okay. It's a wacky show. I loved it when I was younger, though.
Yeah.
It's not. It probably doesn't hold up.
Moving on.
Flying Rhino Junior High.
Flying Rhino.
Silence.
Flying Rhino.
Yeah, this was a fantastic show.
This is an excellent show.
This looks like. Was it done by the same guys who made Captain Underpants?
No.
It was done by Nelvana.
Yeah, it's a Nelvana show.
Oh.
Basically, there's this evil dude who lives in the basement or something of the boiler room of this high school, and he's always trying to interfere with these kids, and every time he fails. I remember one episode.
And weird stuff happens.
I remember one episode where like the Phantom was like he became a member of the school and he lost his memory, and then they're in the cafeteria and they're all like, "Eat the gravy, Earl. Yeah, Earl, eat the gravy." That's been stuck in my head since I was a kid. I've never found a clip of it, but that's always stuck with me.
One of Nelvana's most underrated works.
Ho oh ho.
Ho oh ho. I thought
Right to something that may not actually exist.
What is this?
The same way that you can track something that may or may not exist.
Go waste some paper, kids.
The Canada Post got clever with their marketing ideas.
Oh, is this a Christmas campaign for like writing letters to Santa?
Yes, that's a made-up postal code that kids can basically put when they mail their letters to Santa, and it'll go to the North Pole.
Oh right, yeah, I know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Pokeroo. The polka dot
shorts.
No, that Pokeroo had two shows. Polka Dot Door, where all he says is Pokeroo, Pokeroo, and Polka Dot Shorts was where him and his friends talked. I remember Polka Dot Door. I remember buying the VHS, having the VHS special where it's his birthday, and yeah.
I remember when they rewrote the way you could sing the alphabet.
Oh yeah.
Like A B C D E F G.
Yeah, no.
H I J K L M N O P.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go through the whole song. I'm not Nicolas Cage.
Oh god. So anyways, I had some fun. There were some cool hosts on this show.
Can't remember them though. Again, a lot of these I haven't seen in years, if not decades, so I would really need to go revisit this and actually have a YouTube tab open.
Life with Derek.
Life with Derek.
Yeah.
I remember the show. So this was
Life with Derek. I've got a story.
Oh yeah?
Tell it. You have a minute.
You have 50 seconds.
Okay. Well, the guy that played Derek has been in several other shows on this page, but Evan and I went to high school with the guy that played Edwin.
All right.
Yeah, you may not remember. Also, the middle sister would also be on Degrassi in the 2010s. So, pretty good show. Kind of like typical, a blended family where one sibling hates the other one, but then grows to like them. And then there was a TV movie.
All right,
nice. Yeah, this was a decent show, actually.
That's right, yes. The guy from our high school, who was on Life with Derek, he did go to our high school. Was he in the same grade as us, or was he ahead of our time?
He might have been. He was a grade older than us, but I can say I played Rock Band with Daniel Magder once.
Daniel Magder! Okay, cool.
Naturally Sadie.
Naturally Sadie.
This was a fun show.
I vaguely remember it.
I don't think I watched this once.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I liked Sadie's sort of sense of justice, and the fact that the friend would go on to be in Camp Rock a few years later, so good for them. It was like, this is a stepping stone. Charlotte Arnold went from this to, again, Degrassi. A lot of Degrassi connections in this thing.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Well, next up, Santa Calls.
Santa Calls.
Is this another
Not
one?
with that attitude.
This guy, he looks pissed off.
Hello, little boy. What's your name? I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
I'm on my fucking lunch break!
Stop trying to connect the universe.
We've done too much damage. Goodbye. Next. Les Intrepides.
Another Francophone show.
Les Intrépides.
No.
Sure.
Next.
Although apparently they did do a dub on White TV
Now,
English.
back to Arthur!
I still contest we should do a full proper episode on Arthur.
Oh, you too, huh?
I mean, we did do a slurp that was like 40 minutes
We're gonna,
long.
you know what? How about we do like a Simpsons ranking style like retrospective of the show where we like talk about our favorite like Arthur episode, our favorite Francine episode, favorite DW episode, favorite Buster episode, favorite Mr. Ratburn episode.
Oh my god.
Favorite.
Too much to go on. It's still on the air after 20. It's his 25th year this year, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And in our favorite soundtracks episode, whenever that comes out, I will have more on this particular show.
Oh,
Stay tuned.
are you going to?
Are you gonna talk about Binky?
Yeah. Or the favorite Binky episode. Oh
I'm
yeah.
not gonna. All I'm gonna say is stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arthur
Good.
episode Cody too.
Good enough.
One of my favorites for a reason.
Oh, I remember this. The
The
birds.
Demina Leagues.
Yeah, this was good. This was good.
Why does it sound like slang from the hood? Demina Leagues.
Yeah, it does.
Because it was the mid 2000s and trying to co-opt urban slang for kids shows aimed at white children were the thing.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Well,
It's just a bunch of birds playing baseball.
cool.
Baseball birds.
Baseball birds.
Not the Mighty Ducks, but something
Base
else.
birds.
Base
Learns
birds.
ball.
Okay. Moving on. Grounding Marsh.
Groundling marsh.
Groundling Marsh. What's Groundling Marsh?
No, it's a show with puppets.
Okay, another puppet.
I think I saw this. I think I liked it.
I didn't
Maybe
know.
I'm just saying it for all of them.
Yeah.
I did not realize there were this many puppet shows on Canadian broadcasting.
Okay.
It's gonna...
Anyways, moving on. Maniac Mansion.
Oh, they made a video game about this.
Did they?
Yeah, it was on the
Well, the
NES.
video game came first. This is the adaptation of the video game.
Okay. I
Oh,
stand
wow.
corrected. Yes.
And then they also, I think, made a sequel series about Day of the Tentacle, which is the sequel game to the first game. Also, Eugene Levy was involved. He created the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all the people that like Schitt's Creek, if you want to be a real Eugene Levy fan, get on board with this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that guy with the buttoned up shirt. He's from SCTV too. Can't recall his name.
Yes.
Dave Fogarty, I think. Dan Fogarty. That's gonna bite
Moving
me in the
on.
ass later.
My Secret Identity.
My Secret Identity, starring Rich Evans.
I don't know what this is.
Oh, I think that's Jerry O'Connell in the back.
Is it now?
I think it is.
All right.
Okay, moving
Not so
on.
secret now, is it?
That is a very colorful vest that does not match his shirt.
The Beachcombers.
Who wants to watch a show about two greasy old guys sitting at a bar?
I know, right?
They just walk around the beach with metal detectors collecting garbage. Like,
See, every time I think of the term beachcomber, I think of the Spaceballs joke.
Oh,
we ain't found shit!
The Wedge.
I-
Once hosted by Damian Abraham of Fucked Up.
Okay. Moving
It was
on.
a show basically where like they had a lot of alternative bands and music videos. They did break some acts in the early mid 2000s,
Oh, that sounds
late 2000s and stuff.
like my jam. But next, Yakety Yak.
Don't talk back.
Please don't talk back.
It's a show about a yak and his best friend, which is a pineapple, and I don't know.
I mean, the theme song is literally just how to get kids introduced to an old song.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
see-
it's literally that song. That's the intro.
It's a play
Literally?
on yakety sax.
Oh.
Nice. This show was terrible. Anyways, next.
Moving on.
The Kids in the Hall!
There we go.
These are
Get
some
another movie
legends.
soon.
Yeah. I'm so glad these guys are reuniting.
Yeah.
To think, so many of them went on to have pretty successful careers, like Dave Foley and Kevin McDonald.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought we were gonna have a ton of stuff to say.
I'm crushing your head.
There's not really much you can say other than watch all their stuff, watch Brain Candy, and when that second movie comes out, watch it too. Or special, whatever.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah.
The Kids in the Hall.
Go watch
Closest
Kids in the Hall.
thing we'll ever get to a Canadian Monty Python.
Okay. Moving on.
And way less problematic.
Next.
Due South. A
Due
Mountie show.
A Mountie.
Hey! You
Wait,
remember Passchendaele, Evan? It's the guy from Passchendaele.
Paul Gross?
Yes.
Paul Gross made a movie called Hyena Road that got into TIFF 6 years ago. I actually asked him a question.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I kind of want to see them actually. They should have done a remake of Dudley Do Right and had him be Dudley Do Right instead of
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
As fine as that was, I still kind of feel like if you're gonna do a Canadian Mountie, do it right. You know.
Yeah, get a Canadian. Get some representation on board. Alright, next. What the 1, 2, 3 punk?
What?
Oh, sorry. I gotta bring out my inner Didi. 1, 2, 3 punk. Is that?
Well, that's punk.
Does this guy have like a
Skateboard for a head?
roller?
Yeah, that sounds like the YTV demographic.
I kind of want to watch this.
It looks cool.
It looks right.
Is that on YouTube? Let me see if it's on YouTube anywhere.
It's not even a skateboard. It's one of those things that are only like a
1,
foot
2, 3
long.
punk is a. It looks like it was a thing with Music Plus, so much music in Quebec.
Okay. Moving on.
Alright, I will
Came
keep
back this year. Good for that.
I will keep a mental note of this. Next up, Flash Forward.
Flash forward.
Is that Ben Foster? Holy shit, that's Jewel State from Firefly.
Nice.
Oh my god. Yeah, she used to be in shows like
We're
this.
not talking. What Flash forward? I've never heard of it.
No, but we recognize some people in there. That's Ben
Yep.
Foster and Jewel State, so that's awesome.
Moving
Nice.
on.
Next.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The Grogs.
It's the Grogs.
What's the Grogs?
I have no idea. Those eyes. This thing has seen some shit.
It definitely is YTV related. It's like early 90s YTV. You can tell from the logo in the background.
Well, let's move on before I have nightmares.
Moving on.
Next up, Road to Avonlea.
Avonlea.
Now another green.
Another Anne of Green Gables
Yeah,
spin-off.
it's part of what I call the AEU, the Anne Extended Universe.
Pretty much. Well, apparently, like, people have joked that, you know, Anne of Green Gables as a Canadian IP means that it's like the Canadian X-Men. They have to...
What?
Someone has to make a TV show about it every few decades or a few years, or else we'll lose the creative rights to it.
Well, because now that Anne with an E is over, are they going to, in the next decade, make one about Anne in her 20s?
Yeah, they always focus on her young years or her teen years. They never focus on her as an adult.
Yeah.
There were a lot of books. They only adapt the first one or even the second one.
Well, I guess that's because that's the one most people remember. The animated one as well was like, it was the animated one as a kid, and then I'm glad Anne with an E got a lot more people interested in the IP.
Yeah, I remember the animated one. That was a good show.
Moving on.
Hey, the best Canadian show ever.
SCTV.
Yeah, basically Canadian Saturday Night Live. With a lot of classic people. I'm talking Rick Moranis, John Candy, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Dave Thomas, even Harold Ramis was on this show. Oh, and Martin Short. I can't forget Martin Short,
Yes.
and Andrea Martin, and I think his name's Dave Fogarty. I feel like I should know
Let's
this guy's
look
name.
this up for posterity. I'm pretty sure you're right. But without SCTV, we would not have the classic Takeoff.
Yeah, Take Off by Rush, yeah. Joe Flaherty, that's his name. Joe Flaherty.
Yes.
Okay, I am so sorry for calling you Dave. I got you confused with Dave Thomas. Joe Flaherty.
George and Martha.
George and Martha.
The books were nice.
Martha!
They're hippo.
Oh, I think Andrea Martin was in this one too.
Oh yeah. Okay, I believe it. I always
I
thought George sounded like Nathan Lane, but it probably wasn't Nathan Lane.
Probably
I
not.
feel like it might be though. Yes, I was right. Nathan Lane, Andrea Martin, Sean Cullen was also in this. Deborah McGrath, there's a couple others.
Oh my god, that's crazy. We both called it. I haven't seen this show
Well, I
in
remember
a decade.
watching this. It's like these shows could get some good voice actors or even actors in them.
I just remember the intro song was a jam. It's a mambo. Stuff and things. That is
And yes, this does look like it in fact existed.
That is an ungodly amount of rakes that this kid has in his room.
Please don't leave them on the floor for any wanted convicts to step on.
Oh god.
An old Teletoon bumper.
An old Teletoon bumper.
Oh, it's Tron themed. I love it.
That's
Yep.
cool. That is cool. Not too much to say.
Teletron. Next.
Oh, look, it's your favorite, Lyle.
The Tom Green Show.
My
bum is on the cheese. My bum is on the cheese.
And if I'm lucky, I'll get a disease.
Right? Not big on it, but if you want, you can watch his Freddy Got Fingered episode and enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the episode where he has an operation to remove his disease.
Oh god.
Next up is King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
That font definitely looks like medieval times.
Yeah.
Well, who drew this? Because it looks...
I get like 90s X-Men vibes.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, definitely looks like it's trying to be, medieval superheroes.
Epic. The Sidekick. Oh, yeah, the websites where you could play games and stuff.
Yeah, these were fun. This was sort of like an MMO type thing in some ways, where even with the Big Fun Party Mix CDs I got, there were like these little codes, you put them in and you get exclusive skins for your sidekick, and there were games you could play. It was a thing.
Yeah, emphasis on was. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, that timestamp doesn't lie.
Oh, Mental Block. I actually remember this show. It was based...
And look, it's Justin Bradley again.
Yeah. The kid in the middle would later be in Saw 2. But basically, the whole point of the show, it's basically Inside Out before Inside Out. You have this awkward teen, and there's these people inside of his head who make all of his decisions. It's like, ew, there's a zit on his face. What should we do? Squeeze it.
Oh, that's right. Francine was in this too.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I remember the show. Not enough people talk about the show.
Did you say was in this, Josh?
Jodie Resta. She voiced Francine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Moving on.
Next. Very old white TV. Oh my god, this is what the website used to look like?
Yeah.
Back when the internet had baby pictures.
I feel like I'm gonna...
When dark backgrounds and, flashing, repeating images.
Did a kid in Microsoft Paint make this?
Next. Sky, the band.
Oh, I love Love Song and Some Kind of Wonderful. Rest in peace to James Ronaldo. He passed away in 2018. He took his own life.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry to hear that.
But they were a great act. Their first record again, some good stuff on there.
Alright.
Moving on.
Oh, hey, we have the Holy Trinity. So we started Martin Mysteries, then we had Totally Spies, and now we have Team Galaxy, which was made by the same company. And of all three of them, this one was the weakest. It's basically just
this definitely looks like discount space show.
It's a space show. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
Whiz.
Whiz.
What the hell? That guy.
Something Quebecois.
That guy's hair looks like he washes it with Whiz.
Silverwing, actually underrated, because not only were the books kind of cool, but they put a lot of action into this one.
Oh wow.
Looks like
it was like Silverwing, Sunwing, and Firewing.
It looks like Ferngully, but better.
Yeah.
It looks like badass action show with bats.
Wow. It's not too often Kenneth Oppel's work actually gets adapted, so that's pretty neat.
Reboot Silverwing.
Come
on, Netflix, you need something.
Make an Airborne movie, for God's sakes. Please. Next.
Oh!
Lamb chops, play along. It was filmed in Vancouver, so it counts. Sherry Lewis was such a joy to watch.
I love this show. She was so gentle. Such a wonderful kids entertainer.
And of course, this is a song that never ends. It will never leave your head.
Oh boy.
No.
Is that where this came from?
I loved everything that. I think I have the soundtrack for Lamb Chops Play Along still as well. Well, not still. I found it a few years ago, but.
Next. Dog City.
Also a hella underrated show. Jim Henson Productions. It's not just the Muppets that they're known for. Stuff like this is fantastic. It's like a dog detective.
Okay, I think I recognize the lady in the trench coat.
Yeah.
I think I watched this.
I think it's like a mix of live action stuff with puppets, but also the animated segments as well.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I loved watching that.
Anyways.
Next. Rainbow Fish.
I remember the books and I remember the show.
They were really well detailed. Show was okay.
His lips always look kind of gross to me. The fact that they were green.
I would take this over Shark Tale any
Yeah,
day.
no. If I had to pick,
Low bar.
I would know. No, anything's better than Shark Tale. This is like Shark Tale makes this look like Finding Nemo. Seriously.
All right.
It's not. It wasn't that bad of a show.
Next, Master Control.
Master Control. I have no clue what this is about.
Well,
Sounds like a mixing board, and there's controlling going on.
Okay, let's just move on.
The Naughty Shop. Oh, I remember this show.
Oh my god, I remember this. Now, you want to talk about shows that had a live action segment and an animated segment? Basically, the main plot of the show was this.
It's basically Toy Story, but in a toy shop.
No, pretty much. These kids stay with their grandpa who runs an antique toy shop after school every day. The show is about their adventures and misadventures while they wait for their parents to pick them up, I guess. And then the Naughty segment, it was called Naughty because the shop was called the Naughty Shop, named after this little elf kid named Naughty. And apparently there would actually be like little naughty stories where it would be like stop motion animation where they would basically tell stories of like stuff that happens in Toyland.
I don't think you could really get away with having a toy shop called the Naughty Shop.
Yeah, I every time I heard
what
like
they were doing with a name like that.
every time I heard the theme song, I always thought for a long time I thought it was Naughty, the Naughty Shop, like as in like you're being naughty. But it's called Naughty, which apparently dudes can actually be named Naughty in the UK. Moving on.
Anyways, next.
I just got a big whiff of nostalgia from that.
Degrassi High.
Another Degrassi. We're not even going to stock reply about how we already talked about Degrassi.
Copy paste. Serial Joe!
What's
oh
Serial
my
Joe?
god. Okay, so this is like a post-grunge band. They had this one song called Mistake. Yeah, it was like
Yes.
very sludgy, very nice. They had other songs too, but that's the one I always know from them.
Big Shiny Tunes 4. They were only around for like 5 years. Oh, they were from Newmarket.
Yeah, the lead singer, the kid who was the lead singer, he was in the music video for Superman's Dead by Our Lady Peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all connected. But hey, a band I know. Vrac TV.
I have no clue what this is.
Again, a channel as a kid and teenager I wanted to have, because I went to Quebec City in the summer of 2005, because it's one of the local channels there, and there was something about watching like the sort of local versions of shows that were in English here and dubbed in French, or just like the French language shows. I liked it. Maybe it's one day if I ever get like a cable package or like Any Place TV, Bell 5, what have you, I'll get it there, but it's one of the a la carte channels, so it's extra.
I see.
It's good for what it is. I love the logo, though.
It's pretty wacky. Next.
Or Vracky.
Vortex. Is this like the Zone? This looks oddly
It's
familiar.
basically that sort of idea. It's like the Saturday morning block.
Oh, okay. I think I might have seen this.
Okay.
I always remember there's this one show, this one block that had a rock climbing wall on there for some reason. You know, the room probably wasn't even 10 feet high. Next. Oh, Ruby Gloom. This was
For all the younger goth kids out there, I'm sure this show might have been a gateway into that, but it was pretty interesting for its time. It's like, if you take a bit of the Tim Burton side and you take a bit of the Sabrina the Teenage Witch side and you blend them together.
Yeah, it had gloomy elements, but it was pretty cheery overall, which I think was part of the humor.
Yeah.
When you have characters like Misery and Skullboy and all that. Ovid and the Gang. Ovid?
Ovid and the Gang. I don't know what this is.
Vida La Vida?
Oh, okay. It's a show from the 80s produced by Cinegroup, who would later produce, Cinegroup would later do Mega Babies, Sharky, and George and the Little Flying Bears. So,
Okay.
it's a thing.
Oh, good enough. Next. Till Drama Island. Veronica loves this show.
I have never
I
watched
watched the first 2 or 3 seasons when I was in high school when this started, but it got very annoying to me very quickly. And again, it sort of took some of the cruder humor aspects from 16 because it's the same creators, and it amped it up to 11. And not to mention the spin-offs and all this other stuff.
I see.
It was one of the first animated shows I can remember where people just had horrible diarrhea or they vomited on screen.
Oh, God.
It was pretty crude sometimes.
Anyways.
I know there was a punk kid, a goth girl, and a dude who was basically Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, then.
And it was a Survivor parody in like the mid-late 2000s after all the other shows had done Survivor parodies.
Yeah. Next, Magic School Bus.
Seatbelts, everyone!
Oh man, this show's a
man.
classic.
I can't go into it for very long here, but the computer games and the books were already great, but then the TV show was just another level.
We talked about in our 90s episode. We talk about Magic School Bus.
Yeah,
So go watch that.
Check it out. Cross promotion, self promotion, self aggrandizing.
And Little Richard did a kick-ass theme song.
Plug next.
Mighty Machines.
Oh, this show
Working
was.
for you, doing mighty things there. Mostly
Mighty
construction vehicles.
This show was so boring.
This show was awesome. I feel like I'm the minority here.
It's the theme song. If it doesn't hook you, then you probably won't like it.
I just remember there's like a lot of shots of vehicles doing vehicle things.
Yeah, that's what the point. But the vehicles,
for an hour.
The vehicles talked. Like you had the train that would talk about how it was carrying a load across country. You had the plane. You had the truck. Yeah,
This is clearly an Evan show.
Yeah, I love this.
Yes.
I love Mighty Machines.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Mighty Machines, they're on the scene. Mighty Machines, they're really something when they're dumping. No, it's the wrong thing named Mighty.
Yeah.
The Save-Ems.
Oh, this was kind of an interesting sort of like rescue task force show. Actually, someone that Evan and I went to elementary school with, their brother voiced a character in this show, I think, and then I believe Mark Rendell, who voiced Arthur for a time, and it was also a bunch of other stuff, he voiced that hamster-looking character.
Okay.
I know too much about Canadian shows from the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I remember an episode from the show where they're underwater and they had like chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream. It's like, if you mix it together, it tastes even better. And I was like, oh yeah, swirls. Swirl ice cream's the best. Moving on. Creep School. Oh my god, I watched this.
I did not.
It was like Harry Potter, all these kids in a magic school. And the goth girl always had an attitude, so she got most of the episodes. Anyways, next. Carl Squared.
Carl Squared.
The show about a kid who clones himself so he doesn't have to do homework and stuff. They did the same joke in Calvin and Hobbes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a one-joke premise. Moving on.
Wayne and Schuster. They've got a flag. It's average. Although apparently they're a really great comedy duo, so.
Okay. Well, good for them. Next. Little Lulu. I love you, you just the same.
Little Lulu with freckles on her chin. Yeah, it was one of the first instances I'd ever heard of Tracy Ullman, and some of the other voice actors they got for this. Bruce Dinsmore, who of course was an Arthur. It was mostly an HBO thing from what I remember, but I really did enjoy this as a kid.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Next. Electric Circus. We talked about this already.
Yeah, this was on.
But now you know for certain it's Electric Circus.
Alright, well now we know. And now we know it's not Mike Myers.
It was a thing because they didn't explain it the first time. It was like a show where they'd have music on and people would dance to it. It was usually in the Chum building, then later the Much building.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, next, Swap TV.
Swap TV, I remember what this is. It was basically two different kids from two different lifestyles go live with each other's family for a week. And the cool part about it was the one kid who lives on a farm would go live on the home of a kid who lives in like the city, and they would both, the farm boy would learn about city life and the city boy would learn about farm life.
Surprise! It's edible incredible.
That shouldn't be that surprising.
The guy on the left looks like he wants to eat all of them.
Yeah.
Got his mouth wide open. It's like, I bet you all taste delicious.
Wow.
I serve you with fava beans and a nice Chianti. Next, the amazing Adrenalini Brothers. I remember this show. It was pretty funny, actually.
I think I remember seeing a couple of episodes of this too. It did look funny.
I kind of remember this one.
There's one episode where they go to Hollywood and they perform. They basically run Rampage on a studio set, kind of Pee Wee Herman style. Yeah. And the director, who I swear to God looks just like Zack Snyder, is like, "Wow, this is the best film I've ever made."
# release the Adrenalini cut.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, next. Bumper Stumpers?
Bumper Stumpers.
You know what's a good idea for a TV show? Let's have a word puzzle, but we use license plates. I don't know if that's actually what the show is about, but that's just my premise on how to redo this.
Oh, that's more than what we got.
Yeah.
Alright, next. That's so weird. Yeah, I think I remember this. This was on YTV, wasn't it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Next. So weird.
Not to be confused with...
Holy shit, that's
The Actual's So Weird from Disney Plus. Or it's on Disney Plus.
Is that Eric Von Detten? I think that's Eric Von Detten.
I believe it is. No, that's... It could be AJ... No, you know what? You're right. It's Eric Von Detten.
Hey, Sid Phillips is in this show.
Nice.
That's not so weird.
Or is that Mackenzie Phillips?
No, Sid Phillips, the kid from Toy Story.
Maybe it's both.
Oh my
So
god.
this was basically... It was like she was an ESP type person, and she was on tour with a rock band, I think. Or no, it was like a supernatural thing. Yeah, so she's living on a bus with her rocker mother, and there's a bunch of other stuff that happens. It's a good show.
Alright, awesome.
Okay.
Next up.
Yeah.
Hey, are you sick of puppets yet, Lyle? Because here's another one.
Oh Christ. Take a sip every time I get irritated with these puppet shows. Next.
You know what? You know what Veronica should do one day is make your face in the style of a puppet, but like one of in that episode of Boy Meets World where Eric makes a puppet of Corey, or he makes a puppet of himself.
I've never watched that show, but that sounds like a horrible idea that she would totally do.
Sounds like a great idea.
Don't get any ideas.
For the record, I'm not scared of puppets. I just simply dislike them. I find them very unpleasant. Next, Real Kids, Real Adventures.
This was actually pretty dark at times. Everyone talks about the episode where the kid fell in the storm drain, and that was one of the really tense ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So how it would work was basically they would like actually have like an acted part out of the actual story, and then someone would interview the actual person that it happened to at the end. So you get the context for everything.
Oh, so there's like recreations of the actual event, and okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they gotta keep it real. Next, Max Glick.
No relation to Mrs. Glick.
That is a horrific font.
What the hell?
It kind of looks like it's trying to be like that. There's a material that, like, I think I felt a pillow or something.
It's like it just looks like T1000 shit. Ugh. Max Glick, more like let's click away. Next, Wayside. I remember this show. This show was hilarious.
It was so funny they finally made a series of 8 after the books, because the books are like about a wacky school. But in this picture, the gimmick is that the girl with the rollerblade helmet, she is always punching Todd. But here it looks like Todd's about to punch her.
Yeah. Todd's like, I've had enough of your shit every
that
day.
Theme song, Sky Sweetnum, was underrated.
Yeah, that was a good theme song for sure. It's like there's Sky High and then there's Wayside. Next.
Black Fly song.
Oh, flies, little black flies.
The beauty of the National Film Board.
I don't know what this is.
No,
it looks creepy.
Lunar Jim.
Film.
Oh, it was like Bob the Builder, but in space. This is an okay
Jim
show.
the astronaut.
Yes.
Prank
He
Patrol!
feels like an astronaut in deep space.
Prank Patrol was cool. Although I'm not sure why they were ninjas, but that was cool.
Yeah. Prank Patrol.
Da, 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 da. Spider-Man.
Boom, 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 boom. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
This was like my first introduction to Spider-Man.
Nice.
Just after the first live-action movie in 2002.
Yeah, holds up remarkably well compared to other Marvel cartoons at the time.
Yeah,
Hey,
Doctor.
it's got the meme.
Dr.
pointing
Banner, pelted by gamma rays, turns into the Hulk.
But that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
I remember that one.
Zaput and Zusky! I remember this show. It's 2 aliens and they shoot people.
Wow.
So a low-budget Invader Zim.
Basically, yeah, you know, it is very much like Invader Zim. I remember there's one episode where a giant duck nurse is like, this is going to hurt a lot. They're like, ah! And the episode ended. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Girl stuff, boy stuff, girl stuff.
And don't forget the boy stuff. Girl stuff.
If you were like a preteen, this was more for you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Josh,
sure.
I remember you tried to get me into this. I watched a couple episodes. It was aight.
The art style was super, like, it looked like everyone just covered, it looked like everyone was colored in with a highlighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that...
Puberty was fun.
It's an alright show. Hasn't aged great, but it's worth a rewatch.
Hey,
Sometimes
that's
laugh.
Street Legal. That's King Street in the financial district.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Huh.
Oh, hey, that's not T1000 fun. That's some real cursive level stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
I have
writing.
no clue what Street Legal was. It looks cool though.
Moving on. This is Daniel Cook on a bike, on a plane, da-da-da.
And this is Emily Young with the far more bigger budget.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I never understood it was so special. Anyways, next.
It's like it was a precursor to kids having YouTube channels. Before there was Ryan and his toy channel, there was Daniel Cook.
Stormhawks.
Stormhawks.
This is a pretty fun show that me and my friends used to watch. It was on YTV. It's basically your typical action-adventure sci-fi show. They had, like, flying doohickeys that would fly around. They also had wheels so they could drive and fly, kind of like Diddy Kong Racing. It was aight. Kind of like a Firefly flavor to it. Planet Sketch.
Planet Sketch.
This was a show by Aardman that was basically a bunch of sketches, and it was all animated with computers, so it didn't have the typical Aardman flavor to it.
It's kind of like Aardman doing a bit more of a bit more kid friendly. It's like Robot Chicken, but not as crude. But it's not. It's Aardman going out of their comfort zone.
Definitely. I like the theme song though.
I watched this a lot in 8th grade. I definitely remember it was that.
Mm-hmm. All right, next. Oh God, Kevin Spencer. I watched this. It was on Amazon Prime, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" It's a Canadian show. It's like if you and your friend, you had one guy you could barely animate, and you just make the edgiest, stupidest show ever, and be like, "Hey, we could be like South Park," but no.
Okay.
I remember one joke. It's like Kevin's just this psychopath who like keeps to himself and he does bad things, and it's like, our son doesn't talk very much. Kevin's dad thought it'd be a lot easier if his son shut up all the time, so he didn't feel the need to do anything about it. And then they had sex.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've got all I need to know from that.
Terrible show. Don't watch. Don't recommend. Fucks the series.
FX the series.
I'm gonna call it Fucks.
Okay.
As long as there's no one named Fred in that show.
Fred fucks the series.
Hey, James, make that a series.
Oh my God.
It looked like Joey Lawrence almost.
Yeah. Next, Ghost Trackers. Oh God. These shows are a dime a dozen.
Oh, that's where all these networks get the idea for shows about tracking ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, ghosts, quote unquote. Ugh. Next. Judy and David's Boombox.
Not much to say. It looks fun.
Their
I
clothing.
think Judy seems okay. I've met them actually both before. They're nice people.
Nice.
The show was fine.
Awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Let's keep going.
Lex with an extra
With
X.
2 X's, so you know it's not
For kids.
sexual.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Canadian sci-fi show for kids, so I'm sure it has something of value.
Yeah.
Sue Thomas, FBI.
Not I.
This is actually a pretty unique premise.
Is it? What's the
I mean,
premise?
from what I remember, I believe it was she is blind and she's trying to like solve mysteries and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, loosely based on the real life experience of Sue Thomas, a deaf woman whose lip-reading expertise landed her a job with an elite surveillance team at the FBI. So that's pretty interesting disability representation.
That's pretty good, honestly.
Cool.
Good for them. Next, My Dad the Rock Star, produced by Gene Simmons.
Because Family Jewels hadn't come into existence yet. But actually a pretty cool concept. I mean, it was relatable, you know? Your dad's a famous guy, and you kind of want to be your own person, but everyone's judging you based on him. And it ended on a bit of a nice note, but again, a catchy theme song.
Naturally. Yeah, it was an okay show. Next,
Beast
Machines.
A bit of an underrated sequel to Beast Wars / Beasties. Obviously more of a futuristic setting, but I thought there was a bit more of a cyberpunk aesthetic to obviously how they transformed, but I definitely liked it at the time. I think it's alright now.
This actually looks pretty interesting. I'm sure it sold a lot of toys.
It was an interesting mix of, instead of it was Predacons. No, I'm thinking of Beast Wars still. There was instead of it being Maximals and Predacons, it was like Predabots maybe. It was a different faction name for the villains.
Okay. Well, next.
Viacons, I think. I can't remember.
The Care Bears family.
Care Bears I kind of have a special place in my heart for. I did watch it a lot as a kid.
Fair
And
enough.
I always loved the fact the parent company at one point was called Those Characters from Cleveland.
I also, I had Care Bears plushies when I was a toddler, so that's cool.
Operator by Shiloh.
This was a kind of okay song. It came out, I think, when Evan and I were in high school.
Oh,
and
okay.
I kind of remember it being on the radio and stuff.
I like her hair.
2008, yeah.
Oh, 2008? I thought this was early 2000s.
Wow.
Huh.
Nah.
Not very nostalgic, I guess. I don't know. Well, moving along. Dragon.
I actually do know this show. When I was on a road trip coming back from Florida, I actually watched this in a Ford dealership because my dad's alert light went off, so we had to pull the car into a Ford dealership to get it checked out. So yeah, that's how I came to watch this show. That's all I have to say. It was generic. It was okay.
Cool. Next. Hey, this next one I know. Sugar and Carlos from The Zone.
Oh, I remember those.
These were the people I always remembered the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sugar went on to be an actress.
Yeah, she appeared in some stuff not too long ago, like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah.
There it is.
She was there.
Yeah, she got a full body massage, which I never thought in a million
And
years I would
Carlos
see.
is on ET Canada now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty great, actually. He's getting solid work.
Yeah.
So don't just stand there, Bustamante. No, wait, wrong thing involving bust.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving along, next.
Henry's World.
Henry's
See, kids,
World?
you can enjoy eating your carrots.
Is that the whole point of the show?
Yeah, basically, the carrots are magical.
What's up, Doc? Okay, well, hey, that's a good lesson. Gotta eat your carrots. Next. Twice in a
Once
lifetime!
in a lifetime, Paul grows on this thing again.
That guy on the right looks super familiar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I can't place it. Alright, moving
So
along.
it's Paul Popovich, never mind.
Okay. Blasters.
Blasters Universe.
Why does this look familiar?
I think there was a line of computer games that
Oh,
either this was based on,
yeah!
or the show was based on the games.
Yeah, I think I had one of those games. It was like an LED kind of like click a button kind of game. Alright. Yeah. I remember those. Cool. So that's where that's from. I haven't thought about that in decades. Kenny versus Spenny.
Of course.
One of the best reality TV shows ever made. I always felt so bad for Spenny because Kenny typically won every single time.
Aw.
With a few exceptions.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great show. Especially if you like Jackass, like stunts and humor and stuff. Next.
Yeah, that was the equivalent.
Puppets Who Kill. I remember this show. I watched
Oh,
this.
hey, look, a puppet show you're not annoyed by.
Yeah, because it's evil and dark, and the puppets actually like are.
So it was like
foul.
Crankmakers and Puppets Who Kill if you wanted the edgier side of ventriloquism.
Yeah,
I see.
or you could just watch Meet the Feebles. But for the love of God, skip the Happy Time Murders. Strange Brew with Bob and Doug McKenzie. One of the
I think this is where Takeoff was used in. They did Takeoff to the Great White North.
Yeah. Now, this movie's actually pretty fun. It's stupid, silly kind of humor. It's great. It's one of the few times SCTV characters ever got their own movie, so that's great. It's worth a watch, definitely. Next, Street Sharks. I guess if you're... Mom, I want to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at home.
Ninja Turtles at home.
Ninja Turtles at home. This was a bit underrated, you know? It's like...
Oh, you like that?
You know, sharks that kick butt.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
No.
Can't really go wrong with that.
Evan's checked out.
Because I'm like, a lot of these I don't know, unfortunately. I know even less than I did last time, so I'm the quiet one in this episode.
The Famous Jet Jackson. Famous Jet Jackson was a really great show.
Yeah.
It's the idea of being a teenager and being on TV and balancing the two. It's a shame Lee Thompson Young is no longer with us.
Yeah, he died.
I really do feel like if the timing would have been right, Disney Plus would have so hopped on making a revival of this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I remember the show quite fondly. It had a lot of nice style, and they even made a movie, which was pretty crazy.
Maybe they will do a revival of it again sometime.
Yeah,
I really do feel like this particular IP, there's potential for it.
Certainly. Yeah, I look fondly on this one. Alright, next. The Tofus.
The Tofus.
This looks slightly familiar.
You ever have a hippie parents that you don't understand because you're a teenager?
Yeah.
And then that's this show. And there's a goat, and the theme song's catchy, and there's actually no tofu in it that I remember. Maybe there is tofu in a show called The Tofus.
I mean, come on. We gotta get more awareness on how frickin' great tofu is.
Yeah.
It looks chill. Alright, next. Coming up, Rosie. Oh, I see some SCTV people are here.
Cool. Yeah, I do see John Candy.
I've never heard of this show. Was it a sketch show or is it an actual show?
Let me
I feel like we're uncultured.
It is a sitcom, or was a sitcom, on
okay.
CBC from 75 to 78.
So it's been on for a while. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
And Dan Aykroyd was in it too.
Oh, nice. Well, moving along. History Bites. I remember this.
Oh, is this like Drunken History before Drunken History was Drunken History?
Kind of, but not as lewd.
Okay.
It's just like skits based on like history and stuff.
Okay.
Carrying on. Big Fun Party Mix 2. Oh,
I remember the Big Fun Party Mix CDs.
I don't think
I had one of
1
them.
through 6 are all great. 7 is where it started to sort of die out, although the series stopped after 9, but those compilations had some really special songs on them that you couldn't find anywhere else at that time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look. Bet it'll give
Donkey
me.
Sneakers.
It would really wash me over with nostalgia. Next, The Nature of Things with David Suzuki. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this
David Suzuki's always been a really good storyteller, and even if I haven't watched a lot of The Nature of Things, I think it's worth watching. Even the newer episodes.
Yeah, I actually bumped into David Suzuki while I was working at the ROM, actually. So
That's cool.
yeah, or maybe it was the Art Gallery of Ontario. I forget which one. I think it was the Art Gallery of Ontario. Yeah.
He seems like a really great, knowledgeable guy.
Oh yeah, he's great. Great guy. Legend. Heavy metal!
Heavy metal!
Hell yeah!
You know, it may be dated and a little aged, but I love this film so much.
That soundtrack, the mob rules when they start kicking ass in the castle.
Yeah.
That's bad. And Heavy Metal 2000 is kind of underrated as well.
Yeah, but I like the first one the most. And
Well, of course, the first one is a classic.
And I'm glad it's kind of gained a new second life with Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, that's right. It was oh yeah, I should watch that.
Oh, you should. It's basically like, because they couldn't renew Heavy Metal, so they had to kind of make a show that's similar in style. It's got all the gratuitous violence and nudity you could ask for, so it's pretty kick-ass.
And they got some interesting people involved in it.
Yeah, John Candy, like Eugene Levy. Joe Flaherty's in it too, and Roger Bumpkus, aka Squidward.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait, Love, Death, and Robots or Heavy Metal?
we're talking about heavy metal.
Yes,
Yes.
I thought you were talking about Love, Death, and Robots, but...
Which also has some interesting cast choices as well. But anyways, Heavy Metal rocks. I would love to talk about it another time and another so to speak, but for now, we must carry forward.
Is it streaming anywhere?
I don't know. I have a DVD of it. That's
Okay, well, I'm going to make a habit of watching it soon because it's fantastic.
very, very fun. Next up, Andromeda, another science fiction.
Yeah, after
show.
Hercules ended.
This one took itself a lot more seriously. I think it was pretty popular actually. I remember when I was a kid, it was always on.
I never watched Andromeda, but yeah.
Yeah. Royal Canadian Air Force.
Apparently, this show is not funny.
I watched it a lot as a kid, and I never got a single iota as to what the hell anyone was talking about. I think it was.
It was a thing. It was like that, and this hour is 22 minutes, which I was still too young to get either of them. But I'm amazed it lasted like almost 50 years.
This hour is actually funny though at times.
Yeah, admittedly. Well, next. The Arrow, Evan, you talked about this in your Canadian movies.
Yeah, I did. I really, as far as TV movies go, or TV series that was turned into a movie, it's pretty decent. It tells the legendary story of the Afro-Canada CF-105 Arrow, one of the most advanced jet interceptors that Canada made, but the program was scrapped by politicians who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Go look it up. Incredible story. Canada was ahead of its time.
Dan Aykroyd, it's 3.5 hours, so I checked out. But yeah, it's okay. Next, Stompin' Tom Connors.
Oh, rest in peace, Tom. He was great.
Yeah.
Because the good old hockey game is the best game you can name.
Oh, he's the guy who made
And the
that
best
song.
game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Nice. Next up
The
is...
Marineland commercial.
There's a place I know in Ontario that nobody ever needs to go to.
Because animals in captivity is bad for TV.
Publicity.
It's bad for publicity.
Nobody
Everyone,
likes
needs
Marineland.
everyone hates Marineland.
Yeah.
Let's just be done with it. I actually did go to...
The odd thing about that commercial is that it would air on PBS, and I guess that's
Yeah.
just because of the shared signal between Buffalo and Toronto.
Yeah, no, seriously, go across the border to Marineland. That's literally what it was. And by the way, I did go to Marineland once. I don't really remember it that well. I remember it was cool to pet killer whales, but then I saw blackfish and I regretted the experience.
Yeah. Hey, we did it, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was an endurance.
I was quiet this episode. Now I know what it's kind of like to be loud sometimes. I had so little to say about a lot of these.
I'd say the first half was a lot more of the stuff we were raised on as opposed to the second half.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a trip down memory lane. Some things were kind of nice to revisit.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe we'll find more posts like this somewhere down the lane. Or somewhere in the not too distant future.
Yeah. Now, I need a toke and I need a drink. Good night, audience. It's been a time.
And remember, say no to drugs.
Absolutely right.
Stay alert. Stay safe.
You gotta balance food and activity, working together. The body electricity.
So what's your thing?